So today's topic is mysteries of the wild heart. And we're coming about it from the point of nature, because you and I, we are a part of nature. Oftentimes we talk about getting out into nature. And of course, that makes sense because we're referring to it in a certain way, in a certain context. But if you take a look at the history of theological development, you will find that in some ways, this referring to nature as outside of ourselves has reinforced a certain superiority consciousness in the minds of humans, as though we're the ones that are most intelligent, or we are the ones that are in charge of the whole world. In reality, nature has its own innate intelligence of which we are a part. And yes, we are stewards in that we understand many things, and we're meant to place that at the service of nature. But nature that we are a part of is itself a mystery. And there is metaphorically a heart, a wild heart of nature that is being and becoming. And as we open ourselves to be the wild heart, we can look as well to nature and ourselves as a part of it, as having a wild heart of being and becoming. This topic came about because I'm just back in Boulder, and I went into just a lovely coffee shop I love, and it's attached to a bookstore. And I was in the, no surprise, I was in the philosophy, spirituality, theology section. This quote is from Seneca from first century AD, from his writings Natural Questions from Book 7. The time will come when diligent research over long periods will bring to light things which now lie hidden. Many discoveries are reserved for ages still to come, when memories of us will have been effaced. Our universe is a sorry little affair unless it has something for every age to investigate. Nature does not reveal her mysteries once and for all. Don't you love that? And how even our field of scientific exploration has shown this to us, and all branches of it, archaeology, sociology, quantum discovery, all realms of physics, biology, geology, all of these fields have shown us that while we have moments as a species in breakthroughs, those breakthroughs aren't the end of the story. And when we make the mistake of thinking this is it, we settle into the sorry little affair that Seneca is referring to. Nature itself gives us the opportunity to open up to the wild heart of our essential nature. Because nature, as we're talking about it being the woods and the streams and the animals, they're living that wild heart, and they embody it in such a way that we can tap into the resonance to remember or return to or step forward more freely in our own wild heart. Now, I wanted to play two videos for us today. The first one, I think, is 2.5 minutes. The second one is 3 minutes. And if you're not familiar with the Heart Math Institute, I would highly encourage you to do a little bit of uh, investigation. Their research is phenomenal. And their whole motive is to focus upon the heart as the place in which we can, in some ways, de-stress, in other ways, evolve and transform. They do a lot of research, and I'm not going to throw around their words. I'm simply going to play the video. It's funny that this is coming on Friday because it's reminding me of elementary school when we'd come in on a Friday and the teacher would go, "Okay, kids, we're not going to do any work this afternoon. If you're good, we're going to watch a movie." Well, today's movie day, but it's only like 6 minutes long, and then we'll get into the exercise for today. All right. So we are going to first, we are going to listen to a video entitled Their study finds that love synchronizes our hearts with each other and the earth. Isn't that juicy? Let me share my screen. And all right.
Do you know that resonant frequencies in the Earth's geomagnetic field, solar activity, and Schumann resonances have been shown to affect the physiological rhythms produced by our brain, heart, and autonomic nervous system? And that synchronization can occur between the two. Now, what happens if we're intentionally focusing on radiating love? That's where things really get interesting. 104 participants around the world in California, Lithuania, Saudi Arabia, New Zealand, and England wore heart rate variability monitors 24 hours a day for 15 days. HRV is an important measure reflecting heart-brain interactions and autonomic nervous system dynamics. Researchers also obtained recordings of geomagnetic activity data from a calibrated network of magnetometers located in the same countries as the participant groups. The amount of synchronization between each of the participants' HRV and the resonant frequencies in the Earth's locally measured magnetic field was calculated for each of the 15 days as the participants went along their daily lives. On day 6 of the study, all of the groups participated in a 15-minute synchronized heart-focused meditation called a heart lock-in, in which participants build their capacity to sustain heartfelt feelings like appreciation, care, or compassion, and intentionally radiate those feelings to each other and the earth. During the lock-in, researchers found that most of the participants showed significantly increased coherence in their heart rhythms. This finding was expected based on HeartMath Institute's decades of previous studies on heart coherence. However, researchers also found that the group members' heart rhythms were significantly more synchronized with each other's during the heart meditation period, across all of the groups in 5 different countries. And here's another fascinating finding. On the day the participants did the heart lock-in together, the synchronization between their heart rhythms and the Earth's magnetic fields was drastically higher than any of the other days in every single group. So just 15 minutes of radiating love increased people's synchronization with each other as well as with the rhythms of our Earth. While science is still working to uncover the full benefits of this interconnected coherence, most of us can sense intuitively that living in increased harmony with each other and nature is an important next step for the betterment of all.
All right. So Zelda was pretty upset until she could come and participate in this session with us. Weren't you, Zelda? Want to say hi to everybody? Want to say hi to everybody? She's now at peace because she gets to be here with you. You can see all her joy. So here we've got research that again is unveiling and unraveling more mysteries about us. And I want to show a secondary video that builds upon this just a little bit as a way of leading into our exercise. And again, remember, we're coming to the end of week 5 of a very intense and all-consuming topic, Anarchy of the Wild Heart. Now, next week will be, because it's the last week leading up to Easter, I'm going to take a phrase of Jesus each time for each day, and that's going to form our meditation. tapping into the coherence of Jesus's wild heart as being the universal wild heart. But today we're going to draw upon the mysteries of nature. So let me go ahead and cue up the second video. All right. I know, love. Ow.
Institute Research Center, we have spent decades unraveling the innate intelligence of the heart and the potential of its core qualities like compassion and care to affect real change on an individual and collective level. Our global interconnectivity research is illuminating just how important a role we can all play in uplifting and unifying the collective global field environment, which is essential now more than ever. Through the support of our donors, the HeartMath Institute is now working to expand the Global Consciousness Project, a collaborative effort between HMI lead scientists and citizen scientists. Originally started out of Princeton University by Roger Nelson, the GCP's global network of random number generators has shown convincing evidence that human consciousness, especially emotions of love and compassion, does in fact modulate the global field. We hope that expanding on these findings will inspire and encourage more people around the world to benefit from increasing their own heart-based practices, a most positive step forward in raising the collective global consciousness. HMI scientists are also focused on exploring our connection with nature, and especially with trees. In a groundbreaking global endeavor funded by donors like you, the HMI Research Center is now receiving data from our new tree sensors, designed and built by our team of researchers and installed around the world by a network of citizen scientists. While we're still in beta testing mode, we are eager to advance our understanding of the unseen energy of trees that humans have intuitively felt connected to for millennia. When we come together in heart-centered collaboration, we really can actualize a world in which humankind can thrive, not just survive. A world where stress and separation fade into compassion and deeper care for one another. If you would like to be part of furthering this exciting research, please donate at heartmath.org/give/research.
Okay, friends. So that second video is a little bit more of a sales pitch, right? Or a um, revealing of the mission and the vision of HeartMath. But I think it adds stability to the consciousness that seeks to understand the role of heart and the role of and the influence and the impact that heart can have. And what it does as well is it makes it very important that we care about the health of our own hearts. That Zelda so wanted to be here, and so she was a little upset until she could come, but she's also pooping a little bit. She knows I'm leaving today. So it's important that we care about the health of our hearts because it impacts not just us, but the whole world. And you can see that when a heart is healthy and radiating love and compassion freely, wildly, as I might say, adventurously, expansively, it affects not just us and those around us, or even the objects of our love. It affects all the earth. But it's a reciprocity that can happen. So today's practice is actually going to be off the YouTube video. What I would like you to do now during the time that you have set aside for our meditation is to either go outside or be with some form of plant, not animal, but plant. And I would like you to sit or stand in love with this plant or tree, something that's like grass, tree, plant, flower, and give and receive this love. You could use touch. I know I love to sometimes lovingly hold the leaf of a plant with my fingers and softly move my fingers around like this. It doesn't have to involve touch, but give yourself 10 minutes to be radiating love and receiving love with some form of the plant kingdom. That's it for today, and I will look forward to our final week together. Blessings, my friends.